April here, and welcome back to The Struggle is Real. Today I've decided to start a new segment on my channel called Real Ass Recaps, or for the sake of YouTube's ever-changing profanity guidelines, Real Recaps, where I recap a movie in my own words for you, the viewing public. And because it's Black History Month, I've decided to kick this off with the sci-fi horror Nope. Obviously this is a recap, not a review. I'll just be giving you this movie in my own words. However, because of that, there will obviously be spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie or you want to see the movie and you don't want it to be spoiled, why are you here? Or watch. I mean, I don't want you to leave, like stay and, look at something else, but you know what I mean. Anyway, let's get started. So the movie literally starts off with a chimp going apeshit. Well, there was a chimp attack at the beginning of this movie. The chimp wows out, kills a bunch of people. Why? We don't know. Next scene. So we are introduced to two characters, Otis Sr., played by Keith David, and Otis Jr., aka OJ, played by Daniel Kaluuya. They own a ranch called Haywood Hollywood Horses, where they basically train horses for use in productions and commercials. They're talking about their next upcoming gig when a bunch of random objects start falling out of the sky, and one of them hits Otis Sr. in the head. Spoiler alert, he dies, y'all. Keith David is in this movie for literally like 5 minutes, and then that's it. But essentially, a nickel fell out of the sky and impaled into this man's brain, and he died. The next time we have him in this movie is later on with some voiceovers and some cutaway scenes. But if you came to see this movie for Keith David, he not in it for that long. So now 6 months later, OJ is basically trying to keep the business afloat with his sister Emerald, who is played by Keke Palmer. OJ and Emerald basically have two very different ideas about running this business. OJ is basically very reserved and cares about the horses, and Emerald is all about her shit and is just trying to make that cash. But obviously, since their father's passing, the company has gone on hard times, so now they're trying to keep it afloat. So the way that OJ has been keeping this company afloat is by selling some of the horses off to a local Western theme park called Jupiter's Claim, which is run by Steven Yeun's character, Jupe. OJ doesn't really know what Jupe has been doing with these horses, but he's gonna try to get his horses back at some point. Now later that night, Em and OJ are kind of reminiscing about good times with their dad, and one of their horses, Ghost, kind of goes rogue and like runs off of the ranch. And OJ goes to retrieve the horse, and he sees something real sketch in the sky. And he looks up, and it kind of looks like a ship. And it jets off like hella fast. That's suspicious. So he goes back and tells Em, yo, I just saw something in the sky. It was crazy. And in her infinite wisdom, Em, seeing a monetary gain out of this entire situation, decides that they should probably record whatever OJ saw in the sky, possibly to get some money off of it. Maybe sell a shot to Oprah or any of the other media conglomerates out there so they can get some money to save the business. So they go to this local electronics store to like get some cameras, set it all up outside their house so maybe they could possibly catch this. And they meet this dude named Angel, played by Brendan Perea, who knows a thing or two about UFOs and their sightings and is likely a conspiracy theorist, and offers to help them set up their cameras on their property because they obviously don't know what they're doing. So he goes to their house, sets up the cameras, and dips. Cool, he gonna be back, trust. So to bait the alien, Em decides to get one of those like fake plastic horses that kind of got like these little flags on them, whatever, hoping that the alien might, suck it up into its ship the way that, UFOs be sucking things up there or whatever. However, she definitely steals this plastic horse from Jupe's theme park, and that doesn't really go over too well because later that night his kids essentially come onto their ranch and dress up as aliens and scare the sweet baby Jesus out of OJ and Em.
Nope. Nope.
It was a pretty well done scene, I'm not even gonna lie. They're lucky they didn't get shot being, dressed up as random alien creatures. However, Em's bait and switch plan actually works because the alien then goes and tries to suck up that fake ass horse, but it's fake and it doesn't really like that. It also ends up sucking up these little plastic flags, and it kind of gets caught in its little like alien ship windpipe, and it doesn't really like that either, to be honest. And in the process of all this, they kind of see it like hiding up in the clouds a little bit, and they realize it's also kind of masking itself as a cloud so that people don't really like see it, but then it's also like a full-blown ship at this point, so they think. Let's keep with that narrative. So it doesn't really like that it sucked up this fake horse and didn't really get to eat any real food, so it kind of circles back around to try to get OJ, and he's, running like hell to get away from this alien ship. And instead it ends up eating one of their horses. So that horse dead now. However, with all that going on, they caught none of that on camera because there was like this praying mantis just sitting on their camera, keeping them from recording anything good. So at this point, M is like, you know what? It's not worth it. I think we should be out. This is clearly above our pay grade. We wanted to try to get the money shot for Oprah, and we are probably gonna die. Let's not do this. But now, OJ is the one that's just like, I feel like we should actually continue. Technically, this thing killed our pops. We need to capture this thing on camera. So M decides to work out to the cinematographer that was working on the commercial that they did way back in the beginning of the movie, named Antlers, but he decides that he wants no part of it. For now, he'll be back. However, Angel, being the nosy ass person that he is, was secretly remotely watching their footage from the tech store, which is definitely an invasion of privacy, if nothing else. On the video footage, he saw that there was this one specific cloud that never moved, and they realized that maybe the alien is in the clouds, but OJ theorized that maybe the alien is the cloud, and that maybe it's actually not a ship at all. Could he be right? He is right, but you know, okay, we're gonna keep doing this. Now, a little bit earlier, when M had stolen that plastic horse, Jupe kind of came over to the farm to be like, that kind of looks low-key like one of our horses, but he didn't necessarily say it. But in that process, he did come over to invite them to this new attraction that he was revealing. That new attraction just so happened to be the alien, because Jupe, in his infinite wisdom, for the past 6 months had been feeding and coddling this alien, thinking that he could somehow control it and unveil it as an attraction to make money for his theme park. But that's not how these things work. So of course, all of the audience members and the people that are there at the theme park that show up for this attraction, when they look up to see the alien sucks their asses right up too. And guess what? Everybody there gets schmurdered. Jupe and his wife and his kids, the audience members, everybody dead. But you know what's not dead? Lucky, that horse that OJ had sold off to Jupe earlier in the movie. Jupe was actually going to use it as a sacrifice to the alien, but Lucky was in this little box, and because Lucky had his little head down while everybody else was looking up, Lucky survived and everybody else got schmurdered. Now, after all this happens, and unbeknownst to M and OJ decides to go get Lucky back and sees the entire theme park deserted, just looking like carnage happened and no one was there. So because OJ knows that the alien is, you know, up there somewhere, he's like, yo, Lucky, like, bro, like, come on, come over here. And the moment that OJ steps out, this alien comes out of nowhere and tries to suck OJ up there too. Now, it was within this near-death experience that OJ realized some very key things about this alien. Most importantly, that thing up there wasn't no ship. It was actually just straight up an alien creature, and it was hella territorial. And like a predator, if you look it into its eyes, oh no, it will feel threatened and attack you, and that's what's been happening. People and things have been looking up at it as one would if you see something flying across the sky like an alien, and it takes that as a threat, and then it schmurders you. So that's what's been happening to everybody across this movie. They look at it, they get schmurdered. He also realizes when the alien comes back to their ranch and tries to eat him and M and Angel, that it also cannot digest inorganic-esque things. So it basically vomits or poops, or let's just say it expels that fake ass horse that it ate earlier and all of the things that people had on them when it sucked all of them up. So belts and keys and coins, like the one that killed their father, and anything that it can't digest, it just rains out because it clogs it up. So M, OJ, and Angel devise a plan to basically capture this alien on film, and they call Antlers again for help, but this time, because literally all of those people going missing at the theme park was actually news, since it was that many people, Antlers actually sees it on television, and he's just like, maybe that chick from before wasn't on some shit. Maybe I should investigate this myself. So they rope him into with their plan to capture this alien on film. They also learn that every time the alien comes around, all electricity stops, like basically an electromagnetic shield kind of just like stops all things from happening in the area where this alien is covering. Cool. So every time they try to record it, all their cameras go out, hence why they've never been able to get it on film. However, Antlers uses an old film type camera that doesn't use electricity. Hooray! So now they can actually capture it on film with no problems. But all great plans have a hitch in them, don't they? So some random ass dude from TMZ, who's also heard the news about all the people disappearing, decides to come and investigate around their ranch, and he drives his little motorcycle bike right into that electromagnetic field and just rockets himself off his damn bike. And you know, his cries attract the alien, and then the alien sucks up this random dude. So that part. And now they've gotten the footage that they need, because Antlers has deftly recorded the alien coming down, murdering that one guy, and going through all their plan and stuff. But then he kind of gets greedy, and he's just like, you know what? No one really deserves this amazing footage. This is like God level footage.
We don't deserve the impossible.
And no one really deserves it, and I need to be a part of the earth and the wind. Basically, he goes and self-murders himself. He like goes up onto the top of this hill and tries to record the damn alien. The alien sucks him up. Like, for what? He needed to see, I don't know. So now the alien is on a full-blown rampage, tries to go after Angel, but Angel is smart enough to like wrap himself up with a tarp and barbed wire, so when the alien tries to suck him up, it starts getting injured and it spits his ass back out. So Angel's cool. So then it starts coming after Em, and because OJ obviously doesn't want his sister to die, he decides to bait it by looking up and then riding off on Lucky, because clearly Lucky is the luckiest horse out there, obviously, and baits it in a different direction so that Em can escape. So Em races to the theme park, hoping that somehow she can kind of like choke this alien up by releasing this giant inflatable cowboy into the sky, because the cowboy has a face and eyes, and the alien will look at it and think it's a predator, and then it'll eat it. And since it's not organic material like, you know, meat and humans and stuff, it will kind of like maybe mess up its digestive tract, or it'll spit it out or something like that. And she tries to get a picture of it using this giant old school crank camera that exists on the property of the theme park. So the camera's basically pointed up to the sky, and she's very, very much hoping that she can get the money shot of this alien trying to eat this giant inflatable ass cowboy. And guess what? She does it. She gets the money shot. The alien eats the fake cowboy. And in doing that, because it actually is so fake and so huge, it eats the cowboy and it explodes and dies. And then all the news people and the cops come, and Em has survived, and when the dust clears, she sees that her brother OJ has survived as well. And that's it! Literally every character that you're introduced to in this movie that's of note, you know, outside of Em and OJ and Angel, dies. But they get a very dope shot of an alien creature before they killed it. So that part. I'd kind of say that this movie is more of a sci-fi Western horror, just because of all of the horses and the ranch, and some of the music too is very like old school Western-esque, but that's just me. But anyway, that was Nope in a nutshell, and recapped for you in way less time than it takes to watch, because I'm pretty sure this movie was 2 hours and 10 minutes. If you like this recap, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more recaps, let me know about it in the comment section below, and I will do more recaps for you guys to save you time and energy and time. But hit subscribe if you want to see more recaps, reviews, reactions, all of the things that have to do with movies and TV, and usually horror, because that's what we do here. It's horror related. And for The Struggle is Real, I've been April, and I'll see you real soon. Peace.